Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training. I just recently had a lot of additions on my Facebook page, a lot of friends requests. And I'm pretty much sure why. It's a lot of people that have kind of seen this little drama that we just had happen. And I wanted to explain it from my point of view and my side of things. And then I'm going to let it go and I'm going to go back to what I do best, which is eat, breathe, and sleep dogs and get out of the bullshit. The internet, social media, the whole thing irritates me. And I do what I do because I try to educate people and I try to teach, and I'm trying to promote my business in a small way just to get enough attention that people can come to me for help when they need it. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. I moved from my hometown. I started to tell my life story. I moved from my hometown at 18 years of age, got on a Greyhound bus and went to Oakland and lived in the back of a kennel for 2 years. Eat, breathe, and sleep dogs. Came back, started my own business. This was before the internet was even going and before all the dog trainers were out there. I knew what I wanted to be as a dog trainer when I was 8 years old, okay? At 12, I finally got my first dog, and I have a whole life story. I've eaten, breathed, sleep this stuff. This is what I do. And I've been living in a high saturation of dogs with Cesar Millan. Just got done with the ex-girlfriend. We had probably 30 dogs between the two of us, okay? When I had to leave, I ended up taking all those dogs and selling almost all my breed stock and everything else. I was breeding Dutch Shepherds, okay? The reason that I got into the Dutch Shepherd is because I wanted to experience that breed and never had one. And I had a dog broker that was a good friend of mine that ended up telling me that this dog was available. It was up in the Bay Area, and there's very few people that can handle a dog of this stature. He was severely aggressive. He had a very reactivity problem. The lady that owned him had raised him and had him to about 3 years of age, and that dog was so aggressive that she couldn't even leave her house at night, except at late at night, early in the morning, because she was afraid that dog was going to nail somebody, right? And they were this close to putting that dog down and so to me, it was an experiment. Let's grab this dog, see if I can help him out, see if I can get him, where his head's at, and learn and grow. This is what I do. I live in the petri dish of dog training and dog psychology and doing what I do. This is what I do. I've been doing it since I've been a baby. The reason that I have my presence online and why I do my YouTube videos is pretty much the only place you're going to find me, is because that's my way of trying to educate and teach people and to give out of myself in regards to what I eat, breathe, and sleep, my dogs, right? And then it gets me a little bit of attention in the regards to having people that might see me that bring me business, and that's kind of my marketing. That's what I do. But you don't really see many bells and whistles. You don't see all kinds of video. You don't see the norm that's going on right now in the social media is now it's turned into Instagram and these kids, and then it's TikTok, little short little things. Our brain doesn't even want to get into having to do any more than little snippets, right? And that's just the way it's turned into. So now we have these little film reels. If they're under a minute, they get posted. And this is the new age, right? The TikTok age, whatever. So bottom line is, this gentleman was supposed to be a friend of mine, and I keep getting irritated and upset at him because he's promoting himself online with a young dog that's a good dog. He's got some good lineage. It's a Hans Peg Tommy dog. He's very proud of this dog, and he's going out there. But here's the thing. He's working it with every little angle he possibly can because he's got some computer ability, and he's good with the computers. He's good with digital magic, and he's good with this stuff. So if you look at his posting, he's got hashtags everywhere. Tommy's son, this, that, and he's constantly promoting to the point of ad nauseum. He posts everywhere, acting like this dog is the best dog since sliced bread. He's proud of him. Okay, I give him that. And he's doing a good job with building the dog to a certain extent. But he's not all that and then some. He's a perfect example of the problem with our social media. Okay, the problem is that these guys can go out of their way and give all this promotion, all these bells and whistles with digital magic, and make themselves a lot more than they really are. And the bottom line is what I got irritated about. I've tried to tell him numerous times, getting him, and we have conversations personally, and he really suffers my angst because he's a personal friend. So that means he's, it's like me being saying I really get on him. And I was very polite, very straightforward out in public, and I basically said it exactly as it is. My dog's a stud. It's an 11-month-old dog. He just got a prelim on the hips. He's got to wait until 2 years of age until he can do that. And now he's going to throw shade on me because of Arrow, because I didn't have hips, I knew what I was getting into. arrow was an experiment to save that dog's life, and it was an animal that I wanted to experience and be able to get into the Dutch so that I could learn and grow with a Dutch Shepherd. And I had a bitch that I had imported over from France with a very good, well-respected breeder with a BRN number, the whole night. Now, the whole idea was to have that bitch bring this dog's aggression down and to see those litters so that I could experience what those puppies were all about and see that genetic stamp in those puppies so I could learn and grow, right? And then when I moved over here, the dog is no longer with us. Bottom line, that's just the way it is. I couldn't afford to have him go into anybody else's hands. I only trusted one person with that dog. I reached out to that one person. He wasn't able to take the dog. Leos Dubarloff was the only person that I would have thought could have handled that dog. Why? Because I wasn't willing to take the risk that somebody else would get chewed up. If I sold that dog to somebody else or I gave that dog to somebody else and they got chewed up, I would have never been able to live with myself. Okay? There was only one person that I respect enough that could have had the ability to have that dog. Okay? And so, but life goes on. So this kid is on the internet and he's moving every little bell and whistle he possibly can with digital magic. All the hashtags are just perfect. Everything's all perfect. And I'm not taking anything away from him except his behavior of using the internet to build this mountain when he really hasn't done it. Okay? Go out and do it. Go out and do the training. Put the titles on the dog. If you want to be all that and then some, great. But don't do it off of social media in the back of the social media, because then all you are is just like fake, all these other, there's 90% of the people on Instagram are nothing but this, and they have no clue. There's about 10% of those people that I respect enough to say those are the real deal. Justin Rigney, Leos Dubarloff, okay? These people are people that I totally respect because I can see through the bullshit, right? And I know who's who. Right? This is my industry. I know who's who. And I'm not going to begrudge other people. I don't have anybody else that I can even really think of that I would say is negative. But in an overall sense of things, most of these people don't have anything other than the social media and the bullshit with bells and whistles and digital magic, as I call it. And it irritates the hell out of me. One, probably because I can't do it. I don't have the skill to do the digital magic. You don't see the music. You don't see the things that all these kids are putting together in that regards. I'm not riding that wave. I do my own humble approach to doing what I love to do, which is to put my knowledge out there and try to educate and teach people. That's what drives me. Okay, I eat, breathe, and sleep this industry, and I have since I've been 12 years old. They can't take that away from me. It's just like I can't take away Ivan Balabanov's credentials. That man is everything in that regards, and he is what he is. I don't agree with him in some of his things, and I've said that recently. I've got right back on it. And he's been smart enough to say nothing to me. We don't need to get into this cat fight online. So this other individual now is going to disparage me and come after me because he thinks what I did is I pulled the rug out from underneath this bullshit, right? Go out and do it, okay? There's another person that I respect really highly by the name of Oscar Mora. And Oscar Mora does a lot of the digital magic, but here's the difference. You don't see him working every little angle, posting crazy. He's out there doing it. He's posting videos with somebody catching his dog and the guy has done it. Okay, he's been there, he's done it. He earned that respect, right? Just like Christian earned the respect, Christian Gomez, because Christian worked for him for a couple, 2 or 3 years, and then now he went out and started his own business. Christian deserves that respect. He's out there doing it, okay? So in other words, to my friend, shut your friggin' yap and go out and do it, okay? Stop your friggin' social media bullshit trying to make yourself something more than you really are, okay? That's the reality and that's the truth. Go do it, dude. And then I'll give you all the respect in the world and you have the right to post, right? Just like I said about AM Kennels. That man went over to Europe, got those titles, physically did that work, and has bloodlines to die for, okay? He has earned it, okay? He can do all the social media in the world and I won't ever look at him sideways. Same thing with Oscar. I won't even say a word about Oscar's social media and his ability to do it. I admire it. Why? Because he's done it. Okay, go out and do it. All right, shut your fucking yap and go out and do it. So that's enough said. I'm done. I'm going back to live my life and do my thing, and I'll still put out videos. I'm not going to stop being on social media or whatever. But to my friend, you need to get your shit together and actually do it. Stop your fucking yapping. Stop posting on every goddamn working board everywhere and going ad nauseum to the degree that you are. Okay, back up and start just doing it. All right, enough said. I'm done. So and back to Arrow before I leave. Got a very good bitch BRN number, brought her over so I could bring Arrow's whole thing down. Everybody that's bought a puppy from me knows that I had no hips and elbows and all that shit done. When I get back into this in a year or so, which it's coming, I will have everything done. We'll have elbows, hips, everything will be done, and we'll be all that and then some. And I don't think I'll ever post like you do. I still won't live that way on social media. It'll just be there, and the people that matter will end up knowing that my dogs are some of the best out there, right? And I'll do it because I love it and I care about it, and I'll do my puppy imprinting, and I'll do my thing that I produce a hell of a product and people know it. But I do it because I love it. I don't do this. That's what drives me with this guy. I do it because I love it. I don't have another agenda that when I want to be the big